Here's the story. Johnny the Mad Dragon, who had my mother by his side. They were four friends, certain that he obnoxious, but full of dragon's pride.
Here's the story of the great Jesse Godfrey, with Big D Go-Go and Mr. Rob. Never Jesse's crew, so fierce and passionate, and a red face shine true. Till the one day when Johnny met young Jesse, and they knew
It was much more than a hunt. That this group would form a fiery podcast. That's how we come from Mad Dragon's Punch. Mad Dragon's Punch. Mad Dragon's Punch. That's the way we became the Mad Dragon's Punch. Come on, Dragons fans! Fire up!
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast for our round 6 preview and Friday nights. It's a crucial game. I know it's only round 6, but it's a crucial game in the context of our season as we take on the Gold Coast Titans Friday night at our WIN Stadium in Wollongong. Yes, we will preview the game, and we'll talk all things rugby league, and we'll preview the big game against the Titans. Yep, and we'll have a look at back as well. We'll look a little bit deeper where we can improve on that disappointing loss to Parramatta last Saturday. But I'll introduce the panel tonight. So we've got Big T, we've got Billy, and we've also got Scoop, who's come. He's a late inclusion off the bench. Now we were expecting a guest as well. I'm not sure if he will be coming on at the moment. Looks like it has fallen through, so we might have to just keep the ball rolling, and then we'll get the ball rolling. But what we'll do, we'll get into the teams, and Billy, I'll throw it over to you. You can read it out through us. How the Dragons will line up on Friday night in the second home game at Wollongong for the year.
Yep, so lineup pretty much goes unchanged from last week. We've got Gutherson at fullback. Our wingers are Sloan and Tuapolotu. Centers, Sully and Val Holmes. In the halves, Kyle Flanagan and Lockie Ilias. In the front row, we've got Toby Couchman and David Connor. Number 9, our hooker, Damien Cook. Our back rowers are Luciano Leilua and Jaden Sewer. And our lock is Jack DeBellin. On the bench, we've got Jacob Little, Blake Laurie, Hamish Stewart, and Dylan Egan. With the reserves, Matt Feeney, Raymond Faitala Mariner, and Sterling Finau, Loco Kitonga, and Loco Pacific Tonga with AX.
Right, it's XPT, mate. He's a steam train, mate. Get through there, son. Go on. Should be big size, mate. XPT, run hard.
But yeah, we'll get into the next segment now where we'll talk about the opposition lineup. It doesn't look like we do have a guest. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to come on. Maybe we will hear from him later. We'll wait and see. But we'll go ahead with it anyway. And if he does come on, our old friend Blaze, we can speak to him when he does pop on. But we will get into this. And then, yeah, as I said, if he does come on, we'll...
Okay, Jess, let's go.
Speak.
You should go around in circles.
Come with me as we go behind enemy lines.
Well, good day, Dragons fans. I'm Big T. This is Behind Enemy Lines. We did have Blaze lined up, but apparently Blaze is in India at the moment. So whether he can't get in the internet or anything. So we'll see if he turns on. See if he turns up anyway. Just run through the Titans team. Jalen de Groot is at the back. Isn't de Groot the name of that soldier that rode up on the horse on the Harbour Bridge and cut the ribbon when they're doing the opening ceremony in front of New South Wales Premier Jack Lang. Well, anyway, he was his name, De Groot. Francis and Fafita on the wings. Kelly and Sammy in the centres. Brimson and Campbell are the halves of 5'8". Fonawaka, Verrills and Campbell Gillard. Payne Haas's little brother, Ben Fermor, and Chris Randall in place of Tino. Howe, Fafita, Jolliffe, and the young bloke, Brock Gray on the bench. I was going to ask Blaze about Brock Gray. He's had 5 games or something in the side. So if Blaze turns up, we'll ask him about it. Weaver is the 80th man. Alec Winky, Mulaney, Simpkins, and Fitzgibbon are on the extended bench. Well, anyway, we're going to talk to Blaze and the guy from the Titans crowd. He's the guy with the drum. Plays the drum all the time. He's in India. So I was just going to ask him, Jess. I was just going to ask him a couple of questions.
Yep.
I was going to ask him, do you think Titans fans would be happy? Well, they're 2-2 with the bye. 8th spot. Would they be happy with the start, considering they were 0-6 last year?
Well, this is how I think they've improved. I know they were disappointing against the Dolphins last week, but they've got a new look spine. Like they started the year with Keanu Kenny. Unfortunately, went down with a foot injury, I think it was. But he looked explosive to start the year. Scoop, let me speak. Yeah, Brimson and Campbell. Like it's sort of the Melbourne Storm model where they've got 3 fullbacks and a hooker. They've had JJ Brimson and Jaden Campbell. Jaden Campbell's looking good to start his time in the number 7 jersey, and Sam Verrills a very handy 9, who's had previous experience at the Roosters. So yeah, they've been pretty good. Tino's been like a new recruit, missed it all last year with the ACL injury, but yeah, he's been like a new recruit. And yeah, but he won't be playing this week, thank God for the Dragons.
Right.
But
Take that one off. Yeah. I'm just going to talk about their halves now, Liam.
Yep.
Brimson and Campbell. They lost 4 early on. Like he went at the start of the year. Do you think Campbell and AJ Brimson are the fit for their halves and 5'8"?
I think they are. Big T, they've been impressive for the past few weeks when I've been seeing them play. I don't see Kieran Foran making a way back in unless he comes in to number 14, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to go a little smoky here. I think by the looks of it, Kieran Foran's going to get forced into early retirement.
Ooh, throw it into Crow. Crow this early. Wow. Billy, without Tino, Fodawaker and Jolliffe really need to step up at their time on the field. They've also got the young Brock Gray on the bench. He's his 5th game. Are they going to be enough to replace or to fill in for what Tino does for the team?
It would take a lot of, it takes a lot of forwards to do what Tino does. He's pretty rare. He's very key for the Titans. They missed him last year. That was key. They've missed him. They've got what he's got out of him in his best football this season. He's been playing amazing for Titans, I think, and I think he's a huge loss.
All right, yep. And then go back to you, Jess. Without Tino, they've got Chris Randall is in the 13 spot. Chris Randall's a hooker. That's gonna change the way they play. What different way are they going to play? You reckon? Not having Tino there and having Chris Randall in the spot.
Well, Chris Randall's more of a workhorse. He's played a bit of middle forward a little bit before.
Yeah.
He tackles all day, so he is. He will bring some defense. A different sort of play to Tino. Tino's that sort of one that makes the meters, and he's very deadly with his offloads. Chris Randall's more of your workhorse, and I think he'll be more of a link man with players like Brimson and Campbell and balls out of done.
Yeah. Well, have you guys got any questions for Blaze? That's my questions done. You got any questions for him, or ask me a question about him, or?
Or what you think of the Titans?
What I think of the Titans. Don't ask me what I think of the Titans. I won't be very nice about that. All right, well, we may as well go to that time of the night, Jess. We'll see. We've got no Blaze on the. There's the Titans team again. We'll go to this. Hang on, I'll do it. It's all right. I can do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dragons fans and champions, it's time for a walk down memory lane. We've already gone through the Clive Burkhoff massacre back up in Toowoomba, 54-4 or whatever it was, 54-6. And we've gone through this one. This is the second most win. Oh, actually, we're brought to you by Essence and Light, Nature for Your Home and Body. Small batch candles and soaps. They do the markets around the Shoalhaven. Check them out on Facebook. We might be able to post some to you. That's Essence and Light. Okay, we played 31 games against the Titans. Titans have had 11 wins. We've had 20 wins. That's one of our teams we're on top of. 726 points for us, 526 points for the Titans. And we're going back to round 24, Jubilee Oval, Sunday, the 24th of August, 2014, Dragons versus Titans. Adam Devcich and Grant Atkins are our referees. All right, we'll run through the teams. Gerard Beale at the back for the Dragons, Morrison Nightingale, two of our best wingers we've ever had. Dugan and Matty Utai in the centres. Gareth Widdop and Benji Marshall, our halves. Ben Cray, Mitch Rain and Jack DeBell in the front row. Lisa Armour, Joel Thompson and Trent Merrin locks the scrum. Paul McGregor is the coach, with Cooper, Frizzell, Matthews and Kyle Stanley on the bench. Titans coached by Neil Henry, Will Zillman, Khalifi Fai Law and Anthony Donald Wins. Roberts and Takarangi, that's Jimmy the Jet Roberts, by the way. Caesar and Daniel Mortimer are the halves. Bull Bailey, Bo Fallon, and Matt White on the front row. The other Minicello, Paul Carter and Greg Bird is on the bench. Ione, Nelson, Kingston and Maurice Blair locks the scrum for on the bench for the Titans.
A few ex-Dragons in that Titans team, big team.
Yeah, there are a few ex-Dragons in that Titans team to go through. What's one of there? Yeah, they've got a few ex-Dragons there. So
Dragons Junior.
Fai, yes. Bull Bailey.
Mark Ione actually played a few games for the Dragons.
Oh, okay. There you go. Look at that bench. You got Kingston, but that's not Kevin Kingston. You got Nelson, but that's not Nelson, a sophomore minor, and it's Maurice Blair. So it's a funny little bench. All right, in the 8th minute, Benji Marshall goes over for a try. 8th minute, Benji Marshall latches onto a Trent Merrin offload over on the post. Untouched he was. Dragons lead 6-0. Then 7 minutes later, Brett Morris scores what was to be the combined 200th try for the Brett and Josh Morris combination. How good's that, eh? 200 tries between Brett and Josh Morris over the years till 2014. Brett Morris actually scored the 300th try between them. Did Josh Morris do anything? Brett Morris now scored the 300th try between them. That was in 2017 against the Melbourne Storm. So congratulations to Brett and Josh. 18th minute, Jason Nightingale. Nathan Feeney from dummy. Across to Benji, who dumps it out the back like he was playing rugby union. Josh Dugan picks it up, flicks it on to Nightingale. Nightingale over in the corner. Half-time. That's half-time. Did I tell you it's half-time? Half-time! Dragons, 16. Titans, 0. Where are we now? Oh, here we go. 20, just on the 20th minute mark, the second half, Josh Dugan latches onto a crossfield bomb. See, we're doing them back then too. We used to bomb for the other guy. Then we used to bomb for Josh Dugan. He jumps in the air, flies through the air, like a ballerina he was. Crashes to the ground, scores the try. Dragons, 22-0. A bit of Benji magic coming in this one. In this try, Benji went step, dummy, step, dummy, skip, step, dummy, through the gap. They couldn't even touch him. passes off to Beale. Beale under the post, untouched. Dragons 28-0. In the 59th minute, Joel Thompson, over in the 59th minute, runs from the back. He's running from the back fence. We were 10 metres out from their line. He ran from the back fence. They were not going to stop him. He just crashed over like he used to always do. He used to always be a great player, Joel Thompson. Barrels through, drill stride defence. 32-0. There's Joel Thompson with his two wives. Well, I don't know whether it's a two wives, but why would he have two wives in the family picture? Oh, there you go. Lucky. Lucky Tomo, eh? Woohoo. Gareth Whittle kicked 6 from 7. Yeah, kicked 6 from 7. Oh, yeah, the Titans did score late. Anthony Don scored a try, so he's kicked the goal. Full time. Dragons 34. Titans 6. So that was the second highest win against the Titans. Their first one was 54 to 6 up at Clive Berghoff Oval. And that's it. Thank you for joining me for Honing Me Lions and a walk down memory lane. It's been a big T presentation.
Oh, geez.
Brought to you by. Pardon? That's a good picture of me.
Who's that?
It's a great picture of me.
That looks like from
that's
Batman.
one of my best pictures. This has been a big T presentation brought to you by Mad Dragon Podcast and Essendon Light Nature for everybody. Small Bat Soaps and Candles. And you asked me for a little tea. There's a little tea. The other day you asked me for a little tea. That's back in the UK, 1975. That's me, right there.
Question mark.
Question mark
Were
above his
you a
head.
good boy at school, Big T, were you?
No, I wasn't.
You were
I was a little
rebellious.
bastard. Oh, I was recalcitrant. I didn't like authority. But yeah, that's me. Look at that. How beautiful, how handsome a young man was I. If you want me to put you in this picture and remember you from a walk down memory lane, send me your photos. Come on, guys. Have a bit of fun. Even you, Jess, you can send me your photos. Pardon?
Scoop's got a smile on his face. He wants to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Send me a picture of you as a little kid in your footy gear. Or anything. Like as a 5-year-old. That was me. I was about 5, 6 back then. And the kid next to me was my best friend. Can't remember his name now, but anyway. And there you go, Mad Dragons Podcast. Walk down memory lane behind me lines. I love you all, baby. And Dragons for life. Back to you, Jess.
Yep. So it is well, as we said earlier in the show, it is a must-win game for the Dragons this week. We want to win every game, but yeah, it was disappointing. A loss to Parramatta last week. It was a very tough loss to take, wasn't it, Big T?
Oh, I turned my back when Elias kicked the ball out of the full. I turned my back. I didn't want to watch the rest of that game. This game, we have to win. We've got to win it. We've got to get some points on the board. We can't go win, loss, like we did last year. Like, well, we went win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, in that sort of way. But yeah, we just played dumb football. We were just dumb. I don't know what they were doing. But yeah, we have to win this one, just for sure.
Billy, Christian Tuipulotu plays his 50th game. What do you make of his well, he's played a huge bulk of them at the Dragons. Obviously played previously with the Roosters and Manly. 50th game on Friday night. What do you think how do you think he's going, and what do you think he brings to our team after 50 games?
Look, I rate him. I like the energy that he brings to the club. You know, he brings a big energy. He's very passionate. Obviously, the defensive side isn't the strongest part of his game, but I hope that can improve. He's been great for our club's energy, and it brings something different to the table, and that's what Dragons haven't had for ages. So, congrats on 50 games, CT. Go out there and kill it.
Now, Scoop or the Crow, as you more recently picked up that name. Lachlan Ilias has just he was very lucky, considered very lucky to keep his spot in the side, maybe due to the short turnaround of what the headlines have said anyway. With that poor finish to the game where he kicked the ball out on the full, as Big T said just before. Do you think he's really got to step up now that we've lost, considering we've lost 2 games, even though we have led by 12 against Souths and now Parramatta? Is the pressure on him and his pass partner in Kyle Flanagan?
I'm going to have to say yes, the pressure is on him because we do have in the reserve grade 2 really good young players in Kintogia, which reports earlier this week has him linked to the Parramatta Eels or Squeals that Blaze likes to call them. And then Jonah Glover has been really impressive for in the New South Wales Cup. So if we do lose again this week, I wouldn't be surprised if either Kintogia or Jonah Glover gets called up to replace Lachlan Ilias.
Yep. Now, what do you make of that one, Big T? There's a lot have been said about the form of Toby Couchman and David Clement, who's been quite quiet in his first 2 games.
He's played 2 games. He hasn't played all year. He's going to be a bit slow to start. But Toby Couchman's been playing out of his skin. I think he's got points in our man of the match every week. It's been him and Gutho every week getting points for us. So, TC's doing a great job. Clammer will come good, and Ilias will come good. Look, it's a brand new spine. Come on, brand new spine. Gutho, the only player that's there from our spine is Kyle Flanagan. So, and as the Titans as well, they're a new spine as well. So it's a battle of the spines this week. Whose spine plays better is going to win the game.
Yep. Well, we heard from our co-captain Clint Gutherson recently, who has talked about that game on Saturday, and as well as what we must do to win this game on Friday. He knows it is coming. I know it's only early in the season, but he thinks it is. We know we can be a good team, and let's hear what he had to say at a recent media conference.
Such a big game. What did you put down?
Yeah, disappointing. We gave ourselves every chance to win that, and a few little things late in that second half there probably come back to haunt us. And for the second game we've done that. Nice work. Second game we've done that, so it was pretty disappointing, but we're still early on, and we know the team we can be and we want to be. It's just being able to learn from it and making sure it doesn't sort of come back to haunt us again in the back end of the season.
Did it feel, was there anything different from one week to the other? Like, were you coming off sort of the adrenaline of such a good win?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think we started the game well. We defended well. We got ourselves in the game. And as I said, just probably 2 or 3 poor things in that second half. And they capitalised. And you can't do that in the NRL. You know every game's going to be hard and go down to the 80th minute. And the weekend was no different. And you look at the games we've lost, they're both been by 1 point. So it means we're fighting well and staying in the game, but just letting them off the hook at big times, and it's cost us twice.
What's it like for you to come up against your own side?
Yeah, it's a bit funny. You don't really think about it until you run out, and there was one point I looked over and saw Joe staring at me, and then Dill was laughing at me at the other stage. So then once the ball's kicked, you move on pretty quickly and you forget about it, and it's just another game of footy.
What makes it so hard to pull this game out?
Oh, it's rugby league. Things go wrong, things go right. You don't get a call, or a play that you've worked on doesn't work, and momentum can swing really quickly in rugby league, and you could be on the front foot and they go down the other end and score. So, look, a lot of things can lead to that, but we've got to be better at the back end of games to be able to protect our lead and continue to play the footy we want to.
A lot of young players in the squad. Can you see that they're learning some lessons from these tough games?
Oh, definitely. We need to. It's, as I said, rugby league's week in, week out's really hard, and it's even harder to win them. So you got to learn, and we do have a young squad at the moment, but they're doing their job, and we just need to win some games.
You're a competitive guy. Is it frustrating for you?
Oh, definitely. But look, it's a team sport. We're all in it together. It's no one person's fault or a group of people's fault. We're footy players, and we know that we're a team, and I want to win everything I do. But look, it's it's the way it is. This is where we're at, and the best thing about rugby league is you get to go again next week. So we have a chance to sort of work on that this week and get ready to go for Friday.
Totally new spine, obviously, this year, 5 games in. Are you sitting where you would like to be in terms of gelling to those?
Oh, it's going to get better every week. The more you play together, the better you're going to be. And there's a number of new faces. But as I said, those games that we did lose, the Bulldogs game, we were right in it. And the other two, we lost by 1 point. So we're putting ourselves in good spots. But we've let two sort of leads slip there. And again, it's a team sport. We all play a role in winning games. And we all take the fall together.
Does it feel like anything's changed since the trials? Obviously, saw some really good football from the spine. Things look to be gelling really well. That seemed to hit a bit of a roadblock in some of these games. Does it feel like anything's different from the trial games?
Oh, I don't feel like we've hit a roadblock, mate. It's been different things in games that have cost us. We're not struggling to score points. We're not struggling to create opportunities, and a lot of the job of a spine is to create opportunities, and we're scoring some great tries. So I don't think we hit a roadblock. It's just a few things at the back ends of games where it turns the momentum, and as I said, the momentum's hard to swing at times, and when it does, it's full force. So we have to just get better at sort of jumping the fence and sort of weathering that at the back end of games.
What have you made of Lockie Ellis? I guess returned to first grade, and he had that long layoff. And as a senior player, do you sort of put your arm around him, or how do you nurture him into getting him back to his best football?
Oh, he's been good. He's been playing good footy for us, and again, as I said, it's we've lost two games by 1 and 1 by 8, so it's not like we're out there getting rissoled. It's where we're in the fight, where we're playing the footy we want to play. It's just about doing it for 80 minutes, and we've learned some valuable lessons over the last month, and Lockie's no different. He's getting his confidence back and working hard to make sure he's playing the right footy, and he's got the full belief from me down. And look, he's our 7, and I don't think he's going to be changing.
There's only 4 games in. Is there a need to be concerned yet?
Oh, you got to win. You need to win. You need to pile up the wins as quick as possible. And I keep saying it's a strange sport, and you can go on a run like that, or you can go the other way fairly quickly as well. And I've done both, sort of been at both ends before, and we need to start winning soon.
Can Lockie be a bit hard on himself?
Definitely. When you're playing in the 7 jersey, it sort of magnifies what you're doing every single day, and he does everything right away from footy, and we get judged on the 80 minutes every week, and the number 7's the first one to get judged, and he can be hard on himself, but he knows he's got the full belief of the club and the players around him.
Can you relate to that?
Oh, definitely. I've been in every position possible as a footy player, and he's got to ride the wave, and life's good.
Going up against your mate, Regan Campbell-Gillard on the weekend, when you're expecting that's going to be like?
Yeah, he looks a bit sloppy at the moment, Reggie, so hopefully we can target him. But it's going to be fun. Obviously, new teams, and they're in a similar position as us, and it's going to be a great game. So, as I stated, we got our review done today, and put all our focus into Titans now, and you've got to move on pretty quickly to make sure your mind's on the next job.
What are the takeaways from that review?
Our review? Exactly what I've stated. We were in the game. We were playing the right footy, and with 20 minutes to go, we got to nail a couple of opportunities. A few things didn't go our way, calls wise, and if they do, it's probably a different story. But it didn't. So this is where we're at, and this is where we've got to learn and sort of stick together and be the team we want to be.
Slightly different note. There's an NRL game in Darwin this weekend. You played there in the past. What's it like playing rugby league games up there?
It's pretty hot, mate. It's hot and humid, but my focus is down here on Friday night.
What's the reception from the fans for rugby league up there?
Yeah, it's good. It's great for the community, and to sort of spread the rugby league, sort of the world to wider parts of Australia and around, and they really get behind it. It's a great sort of game to be up there playing. But as I said, we're down here and focus on Friday.
Touched on it. Gold Coast been in this position before. Been in this position quite a few times. Is that more dangerous because they know how to respond?
Oh, as I said, rugby league's every single game you play is hard. You never go in and know you're going to win. It's always hard, and you have to be ready to go. And the Titans are going to be no different.
Come out here, your toes out. Can you talk us through what's going on with your toenails? Pink ones and a black one?
Yeah, I got a couple of black ones. So my daughter likes painting them, so she doesn't have to look at them. So, and I didn't realise how long it stays on for. So, no, she looks after me on the toe department, and I had my fingers done as well, but I got those off.
That's our Clapton Clint Gufferson. What'd you make of what he had to say there, Billy?
Yeah, well, he's a true captain, that's for sure. He's just spoken facts. You know, we could have won all 3 of those games, but we just failed to ice them in the moments that we needed to. So, you know, from moving forward, hopefully start Friday, we can ice these games. Hopefully win by a mile.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we need to do. It is all down to which Dragon side does turn up. If it's a Dragon side that is ready to play, they'll be ready for action. But if it's a Dragon side that turns up plays like they did against Parramatta, it's going to be a one hell of a roller coaster, isn't it, Big T?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's going to be one hell of a roller coaster. If the team doesn't turn up, if they don't turn up, we go sliding down the ladder. We'll be down there with Penrith and Parramatta themselves down there. We'll just slide. You've got to win games back to back to make any progress in this competition. Mate, I had us 3 wins up already plus the bye, so that's how good I'm going. My tipping's not been going very well, but yeah, we've got to play well.
Yep. Anyway, well, the team we're playing against on Friday is the Titans. Now, I'm going to play a bit of a clip from the Titans coach Des Hasler just for the first little part. Scoop, Des Hasler got in a bit of hot water for this comment. I know you're our referee's expert, so I'll get your take on what he had to say. Do you agree with it or not? I'll play it, and then you can hear it, and then you can have your say on it.
All right.
So just for the first minute or so.
Work the World Tour. Sasha Velour hosts Jada Essence Hall as Beyonce, Marina Summers as Ariana Grande, Roxy Andrews as Mariah.
There's no ways a whinge, so don't take it the wrong way. We were beaten. We were well beaten tonight. But there's a couple of things I want to say, probably just on behalf, well, not on behalf of anybody, but like the first 10 minutes, and it happened to Tino tonight, and I feel for any other side that it might happen to. Like, people pay good money to come and see a game of footy. I just think with this, with the playing at the head, I just think it just interferes a bit with the intention or the integrity of what the game's about. It's I don't think it warrants that. And Christian, well, they had a win tonight, so he's probably feeling probably won't feel the same way when his time was sent off a bit earlier. And the other one was the Bo Firma tackle. Like, that is a great play. That's a great rugby league play. To come from the other side of the field, to get across there and to come up with a try-saving tackle, and then gets up, and then the referee is saying, "Oh no, you've tapped him there on the head." Like, where's the intention? It's just a really spoiling part of the game. So it's not quite as bad as Magic Round 2 years ago, but I find it's disappointing. I think it's an area that that they've got to look at intentionally. I could go a bit further and say that in a month, 6 months, a week's time, when there's another competition starts, they call State of Origin. Geez, having lots of people in the sin bin, but anyway, let's not worry about that.
On that, Simbin, how much of an impact do you think?
All right, so Scoop, give us your thoughts on what Desi Hasler said about the crackdown there.
I'm gonna have to agree with Des Hasler on this one. Actually, the refereeing is pretty much becoming as soft as, I'm gonna take another sport, is becoming as soft as bloody freaking soccer. It's just all becoming like once you get a little tap on the head, you just fall and fake your injury. That's what what feels like the NRL is becoming to these days, Jesse. It's been as much like soccer is when you get a little tap on the head or anywhere else on the body, you just like to drop down and fake an injury just get your side a penalty. So I'm gonna agree with Disaster on this one. I don't think he should be getting a fine. Referees these days are bloody protected species.
Big T,
Did
you raised your hand there?
I did. Did you hear Channel 9 and Foxtel were asked by the NRL to give them copies of their agenda.
Yep.
Copies of their agenda for the TV programs, 100% footy and NRL on Fox, NRL 360, and they were asked to put in their agenda so they could not allowed to talk about referees or refereeing decisions, and that was the outcome of it.
Well, have you seen a couple of weeks ago they were speaking about referees? Gus walked off the panel. He doesn't like discussing.
Yeah.
referees.
Yeah, I watched that episode.
No. And on that head-eye infringement thing, if a player stays down from a high tackle, he must leave the field for 15 minutes because he would look like he was knocked out.
He wants a penalty.
He wants a penalty. So if he stays down, see ya, 15 minutes, off you go.
HIA, yeah.
HIA, he stayed down. He's knocked out.
That's what soccer players do.
He's had a HIA. So if he wants to play that game and stay down for a little tap, look at the Tigers game on the weekend. That penalty,
Benji wasn't happy.
That penalty was the softest head-high penalty I have ever seen. He barely touched the bloke, and West Tigers lose the game from it. So if you want to stay down from a high tackle, whether you get touched on the face or whether you get and look at the Corey Waddell tackle. He didn't even get sent off.
Yeah. But the Hudson Young one, was nothing in that one, and he got 10 in the bin.
He got 10 minutes. And Corey Waddell hit him fair across the face with his forearm. Poor Tyrone Wishart. I think he had to leave the field because he was HIA.
Yep.
So if you stay down from a head-on tackle, you must go off the field for 15 minutes for HIA assessment. And that'll stop it. That'll stop people staying down for the small taps.
Yeah. And then yeah, a minute later they get up there all right.
That's right, exactly right. No, you were on the ground. You were knocked out. HIA, boy. See ya.
Yeah.
It's becoming a lot
that's
like
the way
soccer.
they fix it. That's the way they fix it.
Did you think the Tino one was warranted, though?
I didn't see the Tino one, sorry.
All right. Yeah, so looking at the Titans, where do you think they could get some success over us, Billy? Haven't got a bad side. They, as Big T said earlier, they're two from 4. They do have some strike weapons, and they've got some speedy outside backs. Where do you think they could get us?
Well, if we're not aware, they could get us at the back end of the game. Like, very vulnerable at the back end. So with their attacking flair, Brimson, Campbell, they're fast, they're speedy, they'll counter. So we need to be on for the 80 minutes, otherwise we're going to get smoked.
Yep. Now, Scoop. Now, what do you think of? Now we saw footage of at the end of that game against Para on Saturday. Blake Laurie, I know a player you very much like. He was was consoling Voldemort at the end of that game. A lot of Dragons fans weren't too happy about that. How did you see it?
I didn't really see it, Jesse. I pretty much turned off the game as soon as Voldemort kicked the field goal. So, yeah.
Blake Laurie was consoling him. He was crying.
Was that in disgust, Scoop? You turned away in disgust?
Yes.
Yeah. They couldn't have wrote a better script for Parramatta supporters. Couldn't have written a better script.
Guppo getting 2 tries.
That's right, yeah. And then losing. How do you go? How do you go?
Did you see that? Did you see those two Dragons fans doing the Guff Arena?
Yes,
I did, and that Parramatta
We didn't
supporter
like
got the Parramatta supporter got the last laugh. We lost.
Yeah.
So
I was waiting for a punch up to happen in the crowd.
I think James Savage wasn't too happy.
No, well, you
He
couldn't blame him.
almost lost his laptop over the balcony.
That's two games this year that they'd led by 12 and haven't been able to finish the job. I mean, yeah, that's just not good enough in today's game. As I did watch on Sunday show, I know Scoop, you were on that show. We discussed part of the discussion was we tried to defend the lead instead of trying to put the foot on the throat and try and pile on more points. In this day and age, you can't. We're not a team that can defend a lead.
No, we can't. No, we're not a team that can't defend Chelsea. I can't remember what was said on the Sunday show. It was like two
You were
nights
there.
ago. Yeah, I know.
You were
I
on
totally
there.
forgot.
Give me a got drunk, son.
He's getting memory loss.
Oh, no. Well, I've got memory loss from the weekend too. Like, I forget what happened.
Yeah.
Forget what happened.
The kid is raising his.
Billy.
Yes. You know what the problem is? We can defend fine, but when we keep making stupid errors in our own 20 meters, that's when we struggle because we're putting ourselves under pressure. We can't keep doing
Heaps
that.
of pressure.
We can't. That's the problem. We can't keep doing that.
Yep. And we give so many cheap penalties away as well.
Yeah. It's just stupid. It's just basic errors. Fundamentals. And I think that's what Shane Flanagan's been saying. You know?
Yeah.
We won't
I wrote on Sunday. I wasn't on a Sunday show, but I wrote on in the chat that we played dumb football. For the last half an hour, we just made so many stupid mistakes, Peter, like you said. Like, it was unbelievable. We just played stupid football.
Yeah.
We were dumb. We were dumb.
No one took the field goal either. Like,
No.
there was a chance to take it.
Yeah.
We almost had
People
the
say,
2
the
point
Tyrell
field goal.
Sloan one was a try, but that's a 50-50 one.
That was close.
That was close. That should have been a try every day of the week. The Tyrell Sloan try.
But the
His
right call
foot
was
didn't even
made.
touch.
The right call was made though. He did have his foot on the line when
he had
the ball on the line. So that is the rule, as you would know, Scoop. If you got the foot on the line as well as the ball on the line, they'll
His
call
foot
it back.
was
in the water for
nowhere
you.
near the line. I was watching replays of that.
He was on the line.
It was like a smidge.
Does he wear
It doesn't matter if it's smidge or nothing. Like, he was on the line. If the ball, like, if it had been one of the top teams, had it been Melbourne, had it been such and such, had it been Penrith,
If it would have been Melbourne,
a try.
they would have got away with
Would have
it.
been a try.
Yeah, it would have.
But anyway,
We'll get into where we'll get all our viewers involved, where we get your thinking caps on, and we'll get into this.
Oh shit! Ow! Oh, sorry.
Well, my question is tonight, regarding our first ever game against the Titans in Wollongong back in 2007. So we had where the Dragons won that game quite comfortably. I'll just make it small, a little bit easier for everyone. Not everyone will remember it, but exactly what what was the margin the Dragons won by in that game? So it was between 1 and 20. So let's see how you go and fire away in the comments. First game in Wollongong. Is that your brother again, Billy?
Yeah, he must be with my dad. He must be with my dad. He must be just sitting there.
Quick.
Peter Fee, 2. James
He was
Savage,
quick.
2. Johnson,
He's quick,
18.
He's quick. So
Peter V and James Savage, you've got it right, but that was our game at Suncorp, the very first game. I said the game in Wollongong.
Peter V.
Mohammed
0.
Dib saying 16.
Which Rugby League Roundup has got right, Billy. 18.
he's sitting with my father, I guarantee it.
The Dragons won the game 28 points to 10 back in 2007. Tony Archer was the referee in that game, and we won the game 28 points to 10 with tries to Wes Naguama, Jason Nightingale, Corey Payne, Adam Peake, and Ashton Sims. Matty Head kicking 3 goals, Wes Naguama kicking 1 goal. For the Titans, Matt Peterson and Scott Prince got a try, and Matt Rogers kicked a goal. The Dragons winning 28 points to 10. But here is an interesting stat, though. We are playing again this game at Wynn Stadium on Friday night. And Big T, the Dragons have won all 6 games against the Gold Coast Titans at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong.
Well, we've got 22-11 head-to-head, so we're going to beat them somewhere. And it's Wollongong. Wollongong's a fortress. Manly can't beat us down there. Titans can't beat us down there. We're going to beat them again anyway. So
Hopefully.
We will. Be confident. Not hopefully. We'll be confident we'll win. So Wollongong will be a Wollongong fortress.
And most games where we've beaten the Titans, we've won quite well. There has been close games over the years, though. Most of them have been. So, yes, as I said, 2007, 28-10. 2008, we won 30-12. 2009 was 16-10. 2012, we won 8-6. Our next meeting in Wollongong was not till 2022, which we won 46-26. And then last year we won 32 points to 16. So, yeah, it's pretty much convincing results in favour of the Dragons, Billy.
Yeah, 100%. We got to keep it that way. We got to just keep it that way. Yeah.
Now, Scoop, we'll go into this one. There has been a lot of talk about what Jacob Little's role is for the team, where he does come on and where he doesn't. Do you think it's more of a game-by-game proposition of who we are up against, or what Flano is thinking of how he brings him into the game?
This comes up every time when we talk about it. I'm always the one that gets asked about this. It's just Coach Flano's poor decisions on how he uses his bench properly. Otherwise, that's it. I'm not talking any more about it.
What do you want to take at Big T?
Take what, mate? Sorry, I'm just doing some tipping.
Jacob Little's use off the bench, how he's used by...
he needs to be used more. He needs to come on just before halftime. Take Cookie off just before halftime. Little needs to play the first 10 minutes of the second half. Then get taken off again and then come back on with 10 minutes to go, and him and Cookie can run riot from Bromley half. That's what they got to do. They both got to get tag plays. Tag one play, run dummy half. Next play, run dummy half, and just run the tide forward Dragon. That's how you got to use Little.
And Billy, many people are confused with which Dragon side will turn up. I mean, we turn up and beat the competition favourites in the Melbourne Storm, and we come out and lose to the Wooden Spooners Parramatta. I mean, is consistency really our issue again, as it was last year?
Gee, I hope not, my friend. if it's very early in the season, and if we can fix it now, that'd be great. Knock it out. But the answer to the inconsistency is I don't know, because we're inconsistent. We're like a box of chocolates, mate. We just don't know what we're going to get on the day. We really don't. So, we just got to pray and just fucking hope, we turn up and destroy him.
Yep, I agree. I agree with the kid on this one.
Yep, and on that, the Titans, they've shown that they've got a lot of points in them. Scoop. They had their had a big loss to the Dolphins last Saturday, but when they're on, they are on. They can pile on the points quickly, can't they? And Des Hasler can coach. Scoop.
Say that again. I just missed that.
If the Dragons get complacent and don't turn up, the Titans are a team that can pile on the points and give us a bar.
Oh, definitely. They've done that to the previous teams that they played against in the past few weeks. I would not be surprised if we turn off the attack again like what we did last week and they just pile points on us this week.
Big T, what do you think the Dragons have to fix to go on with these leads? We've seen it against South. We saw it against Borough. What must we do to keep the points flowing?
Stop making mistakes. We make too many mistakes. We miss too many tackles. Stop making mistakes. Hold on to the ball. You look at Penrith last year. Penrith were the least mistaked team in the competition. They won the comp. You got to not make mistakes. You got to hold on to the ball. You remember back before 1967, it was unlimited tackle. Just hold the ball. You couldn't lose a game if you held the ball.
Yeah.
If you hold the ball, you don't lose a game. You can't make mistakes, Jess. And in the league they're in, it's a savage league, and you make mistakes, you're going to get punished.
Yeah.
See you later. Goodbye.
Yeah. And a lot of people have pointed out that, it was Parramatta. They have got a very young side under Jason Riles, but a lot of people said, you can't. It's the NRL. You can't take anyone lightly these days, and if you do, that's what will happen, isn't it? Right? Anyway, we'll go into this. We don't have Coco on tonight, but we'll go into Billy's battles, where you can let's go into it, and we'll you can talk us through on who you think the key matchups is.
They're slugging it out in the middle of the field. The Dragon's front row has knocked his block off. His block is knocked off?
It's time to look at the one-on-one battles that will decide the game. Will it be the key position players? Will the fight be won out wide? Or will it be one up front? Strap yourself in for Coco's Clashes!
All right, Billy, so take us through your key battles for this game on Friday night.
Yep, no worries. Okay, so for this week's battles, I have the most important one for me is the battle of the back rowers. So that is both matchups, Luciano Leilua and Beau Fermor and Jaden Tua and Cleese Haas. That is going to be key. That is going to be really key. If we can get over the back rowers, we have a really strong performance. And we've got to win. We got to win the middle. If we can win the middle, we're going to go far away to winning this game. So, the edge back rowers got to get over them, and that's going to be a tough matchup. But I think we can definitely do it. And another matchup I'm willing to go with. Let me see. I think Moses Sully versus Brian Kelly and Bower Holmes versus Phil Summy. So the centre pairings as well. So out on the edges a lot is going to be where we should pose a lot of danger. Both centre pairings are very strong. Like they're strong, solid players. So that should be good to see.
And that's who you got on that?
Yep, that is all I have
All right. We'll throw over to you, Big T or Scoop. So you throw in any bit battles you have as well. Where do you think there could be some key matchups in this game?
Go
I'll
on,
go
Scoop.
first.
You can go, son. You can go first, mate. Go on. Always
I've
let you go
got-
first.
I've got the battle in the halves. Depending
Yeah.
on who is the more dominant halves pairing will win their team's battle for the field territory and kicking and most match plays on the day or at night. I meant to say. Throw it over to you, Mr. Big T.
Exactly the same, mate. The spines are going to be the key to this game. Depends on how the fullbacks chime in. Guffo likes going left, and Tui Pilotu and Moses Sully get him over that side. Is it? So Tui Pilotu in Holmes, isn't it? You can get him on that side anyway. Anyway, get him down that side. I think our spine will be better than their spine.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jalen DeGroot's only got 3 or 4 games to win in his career.
So 4 games.
yeah.
Brimson and Campbell are very exciting. They're not that sort of game managers. They're more of all off the cuff players. They play what's in front of them.
Yeah. Samuel Verrills is a mixed bag.
Yeah. But on his day, he's a very underrated player, Sam Verrills. He's a very good distributor of the ball. So
He
he
is.
could be very dangerous for us if we're not too careful. He's a player too that can pop out a dummy half, and we've shown that when we're sleeping around that on the goal line, if Sam Verrills snuffs out a try from dummy half, be very careful. He'll get over.
Just to fin on
He will.
Sam Farrell's Jesse, there was reports late last year that he is looking at a move back to Sydney, but I'm not sure if that's still going ahead or not because the Roosters have signed them and former Dragons player Reece Robson, but by the looks of it, Sam Farrells could be on the outer at the Gold Coast Titans.
Ooh.
Is that your latest scoop? Is it?
That's another one.
That's what I've heard. I'm not sure if it's true
It's
or not.
everywhere.
Okay.
Do you know who he sounds like? Do you know who he sounds like?
Buzz
Sounds like Buzz.
Did you
Buzz
see
from Team News.
Buzz's article yesterday?
Which one?
Which one?
About Adam Reynolds.
He's out, isn't he?
No, since they signed Hunt, they don't have cap space for him to keep him next year.
Ooh, interesting.
Keep Reno.
But he does not want to come back to Sydney.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the
enjoying life in
Dolphins.
Brisbane.
Yeah. I
And
don't know.
DC doesn't want to uproot his family to go back to Queensland, so there could be some shifting in of the halfbacks in the player market this year.
Well, Adam Reynolds has been linked to a move to the Super League, and there is an offer on the table. Whether or not he wants to move his young family to the other side of the world, I'm not too sure.
Oh, Jesse, also the other thing I've just heard from the Super League, there could be another 2 clubs in financial crises. And it's both the French clubs I'm hearing.
Okay. Big T. Now, just another thing that's come out today. I'm not sure if you've seen this scoop. The NRL are looking to invest into a 33% ownership of the Super League.
Yeah.
Would you like
Yeah.
to see the
That would be
NRL
good.
take care of the Super League to improve the competition over there?
I'll let Big T
I
go
don't-
first
I don't-
this time.
It was my turn, Scoop. Come on. I'll put you on mute
So he
again.
mentioned both of us.
I'll put you on mute.
I didn't say. I said Big T.
Shh. Put you on mute. Yeah, it'd be good to get the NRL into the English Super. I'm not sure why the English Super League is they're hemorrhaging money. There's no money anywhere. I don't know why. I only played across mostly north of England. Maybe they have to. I don't know about the French clubs. If Scoop's saying the French clubs are in trouble, maybe they have to go.
I'm pretty sure Southwood folded or is folding.
They don't.
They
They can't play their players.
They've already released Callum Watkins. That's all but confirmed that Callum Watkins is going back to Leeds Rhinos. By the sounds of it, I think Salford's the next club to get folded. One club has already folded in the UK last week, which was I can't remember the name.
London.
No, it wasn't London. No, it was
Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
I'll jump in when I find it.
Because the Super League, we do want to see the game in England get better as well, because we want to see England get better on the world stage. And we see a lot of players that do come out there. There are some talented players that have come out here. And you look at the Paraders as a prime example. They always go scouting to get players from the UK, and they turn out all right. And hopefully we can see more. And a lot of Sam Burgess, I remember him saying a few months ago, we don't want to keep losing players to the NRL. They want to keep their own game going over there, because you look at all the NRL players that go over there, they become superstars.
Superstars.
But they're not the same player here.
Oh,
it's like playing reserve grade. It's like playing reserve grade. If Billy Burns went to the UK, he'd be a superstar.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he would.
Yeah.
If he went to the UK, he'd be a superstar. Ain't that right, Donny? Ain't that right, mate? Yes, he'd be a superstar.
I found the club, Jesse.
Who was it, Scoop?
It was Cornwall Rugby League Football Club. That's folded.
Wow.
I don't think they're in the Super
Cornwall.
League.
Yeah,
they're in the third tier comp over there. So you got the Super League, and then you got the Championship, and then you got the third division.
Yep.
Unfortunate, it happens.
And by the sounds that Salford's going to be next, because it's not looking good for him. And in the next few years, I wouldn't be surprised if Catalan Dragons and the Olympics goes. I think that's how you pronounce them. The two French clubs. Because by the sounds of it, there's been reports from Catalan Dragons fans in that saying they're not they don't feel welcome in the Super League, the Catalan Dragons.
All right, well, we'll continue on. We'll break things up a little bit again, and a little bit of NRLW content now. So yes, we saw some footage the other day with new coach Nathan Cross, which Big T and Scoot would know some of the players in the NRL. I'm not sure if you watch NRLW, Billy, but yeah, who would be the most likely player that is in the coach's ear?
Oh, I've seen this feed.
Who do you think will spend the most time in the crossy?
Casey Ray.
Oh, maybe Flash.
I was going to say Flash.
Flash loves a chat.
Flash. Probably little. Probably Tegan Berry. Flash. Charlotte Basham. Yeah, Bash.
Or Casey, but she actually.
I reckon Zali Hopkins. Zali or Bash, they talk a lot. Bash. Charlotte Basham.
What do you say to the girls that said it would be you?
Fuck off. Isn't it evident?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, you, Roxy.
Question into all of them.
You two in the back row.
What's the inside word?
Charlotte Basham.
Charlotte. Who's Charlotte?
Now, what do you take of that one, Big T?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not up there watching the girls, but Charlotte Basham was carrying the flags back, so
It was actually Bronnie Wilson, that one was.
Oh, there you go, Bronnie Wilson then. No, there you go. She's a suck up. Bronnie Wilson's the one, nobody else.
And we did have some NRLW news the other day. Ella Costa re-signed for a further 2 seasons, Scoop.
That's good to hear. Isn't she like 18, 19, something like that? Or... She's
20 she's 19 right now. I think she's 20 next year, I think.
So roughly around my age or Billy's age.
Local junior.
Yeah. That's good to hear. Because when we were talking about last year, Jesse, you and I, when we were commentating, you and I were going to be a bit worried if none of our juniors were going to get resigned or pushed up to first grade for the women's. That's really good to hear. But they're prioritizing our juniors over from getting players from other clubs.
Now, Big T, one of the players we have signed as well, Brooke Anderson, player coming over from Cronulla, has played 2 grand finals with Parramatta and Cronulla. She's played tests for New Zealand, I think 9 or 10 tests. Has played 1 Origin for New South Wales as well. How good would it be to have someone of her experience at the club?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great to have her experience at the club. Like you say, she's played next year. She's next year, but she's played grand finals with Cronulla and Parramatta. And Cronulla are one of the top sides again this year. So, it'd be great to have her over, come over and tell the girls the experience, how they're going to feel when they do actually get to the top.
Yeah. And yes, they did lose a lot of players, but as Mohammed Dib has just highlighted there, but I've heard a lot of good things about what Sam Bremner's doing, and also the new coach Nathan Cross, and maybe we'll get some insights on how the girls like his coaching, and we'll get into that close to the season. That is a few months away though. They will start preseason training very shortly, actually. So we'll get into something a bit different now. So we'll go into so a lot of been talk about the Friday 6 o'clock game. Not a lot of a crowd normally goes to the Friday 6. Is Wynn Stadium the right place and the right time for a 6 o'clock game on a Friday, Billy? Particularly people coming from work and those coming from Sydney.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit hard. Personally, for Wollongong, I think Sundays are like Sunday 4 p.m. matches, a cracker there. And even a Saturday 5:30 match wouldn't be bad. But Friday 6 is a bit hard for everyone because of work and because Wollongong's a bit of a trouble for people coming from Sydney.
Yep. And what's your thoughts on the Big T? I mean, you're being an avid fan of the game, but the 6 p.m. Friday time slot. What's your take on it for the game at Wynn Stadium?
Well, it's good for the people that work down in Wynn. It's great for them to get there after the game, after work, go to the game, finish at 5 o'clock, have a bit of dinner, and then go into the game. Watch the 6 o'clock game. Again, like Billy was saying, the travel's a bit sus. People coming down from Sydney. They finish work till 5. You're not going to get there by kickoff, so why go? You know, it is a bit of an odd time. Sure. It's good for TV, and that's what it's there for. And that's what all the games are there for TV. So, yeah, don't worry about the fan. It's all for TV.
That's not one that concerns the Dragons as much. But I did see a clip today that it's actually a good point. There are no games in Sydney at all this weekend. Thursday, we've got a game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Friday, we've got Wollongong and Brisbane. Saturday, we've got games in Perth and Darwin. And Sundays, we've got games in Melbourne and Newcastle. What is the NRL thinking with this schedule not to have one game in Sydney?
Whoa. I am going to throw one of our mates under the bus in the captain of our podcast, Donny Bell, who might go watch a game for us over in Perth and go behind two of the teams, get enemy lines to help us out. I think what they're trying to do now, the NRL, is just spread games all around the country to get more of the young kids in that involved, bring, what do you call it? Try to bring the community closer to try to outplay the AFL or rugby union, because now in Australia, rugby union is kind of dying off sport. And maybe, please don't hate me for this one, Billy, but us Aussie we call it soccer. I'm not sure what you call it, soccer or football, but
Football.
soccer is
Football.
Don't care, Big T.
I agree, but I don't really care.
What they're trying to do is, I think they're trying to beat some of the other sports to make it more of a worldwide game and more of a nationwide game to bring more people in. And like what you and Jessica were saying, Big T is all about the dosh these days. They don't really care about the fans. They just want to bring in the money and try to make go worldwide in the future.
Anything to add on that, Big T? No games in Sydney this weekend?
Well, gives us a break. Gives the transport a break on the weekend. But yeah, it's a bit strange not having a game in Sydney because people out there do go to their non-supported team games as well. So yeah, it's a bit strange, but it happens.
Yep. And another clip that we did see through the week, behind the scenes of the NRLW side, who is doing a little bit of training as we speak. Yeah, let's have a look and see what they've been up to in this build up to the new season.
Big off season. What have you been up to? Tell us.
At the moment, I'm just working.
So, if you couldn't hear in the background, the girls have been given eldership because we've got the lips done, we've had the extensions put in, and the nails are fake. So you can obviously tell that it's off season.
It's real inside.
Bossy, this is our TikTok influencer. So, done our hair for the occasion. So, what have you been up to? Let the fans know. Let the community know what Sophie Clancy has been doing.
Working full time as an electrical apprentice and spending time with my family and enjoying Sydney because I just moved here.
There you go. Tell us about your All-Stars experience, mate. It was your first ever one. Got an awesome try, but tell us about the week.
Yeah, it was honestly the most amazing week. Dinner dates with this one here. No, but yeah, it was good to get in with the culture, and obviously, yeah, that week was amazing.
So, Bossy, what have you been doing now that you finished school? Finally 18. What have you been up to?
Just chilling, put on 10 kegs.
Oh, she's
cute. Getting big.
Getting big.
Yeah.
What else have you been doing? TikToks?
Yep, TikToks. Working. I got a job. First job ever. Been good. Got money in the bank.
Yeah. Let's go to our S&C. He's going to be the one putting us through the pain. So, Crossy! He's back again, our S&C for this year. Are you going to absolutely flog us pre-season in 51 days?
That is the plan, yes. Unfortunately for you guys, but very fortunately for me.
Oh, unfortunately. Crossy, hello. I'm on the mic today. First time head coach. Yes. NRLW Dragons team. How are you feeling about it all?
I'm excited. It's challenging having to coach people like yourself, like characters in the game. Look, it's really exciting. We've got a good young group here. Big challenge ahead, but I think a lot of people are going to underestimate us and we'll catch a few off guard. So look out 2025.
We just had a quick team meeting about, what we can do on the ground to be better as a group and as a team. So what did you take away from what the girls spoke about today and, what Dragons fans and the rest of the competition are going to see that they haven't seen before?
Yeah, look, I think for us, it's obviously, as we spoke about inside, like building that trust. And being comfortable, sort of being uncomfortable with certain things that it doesn't always come easy. And if we can get a lot of that stuff right personally within our group, then our footy will flow. And look out.
You heard it here first. Look out. Well, there you have it. A little insight to what the girls and the coaching staff have been up to in this little off season. We've got a little session now. The girls are already waiting. I'm late, so I probably already have a plan. So I better get to it. Thanks.
So who's the captain for our girls this year, Jesse?
As far as I know, it's still Racine McGregor.
Okay.
Anyway, a story that did the rounds today, and they're looking at medically retiring Tom Eisner that could be happening. Big T.
Well, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. But if he's not medically fit to play, you're going to have to medically retire him, aren't you? You can't have him sitting on the bench taking up space.
he only lasted a few minutes playing New South Wales Cup and was heavily concussed in that game. So, at being at his age, it may be a long way back for him.
Could be. Look at what's his name from the Roosters, the captain from the Roosters. No, the captain. From a few years ago, Boyd Cordner got knocked out several times in the game. That ended up finishing his career. So you got to watch for head knocks. James Graham has donated his brain to science after he dies.
Victor Radley's another player that's happening to right currently.
Exactly right, yeah.
Luke
Just get their heads in the wrong spot. Same as Liam Fulton from the Tigers all those years ago. He was the same. Got his head in the wrong spot every time, and got knocked out several times, and he had to retire because of HIA injuries, head injuries. So got to watch out for them in the game.
Yep, but it would free up. I don't know how much exactly Tom Eisenhuth is on, but
it wouldn't be on much. 350 maybe.
What do you make of it, Billy? Do you think if he is unfit to play, would the Dragons get some cap dispensation, or what do you think should happen? Do you think the Dragons will tread around this one very carefully? What do you think they should do in regards to this? If he is no longer going to play, and he's showing no signs of his signs are no good, how would you go about this?
To be honest, I would look within if he had to go down. Maybe someone from the supplementary list come up to the top 30. If that helps us. I think there's not much players we can sign at the moment. So there's not much around during this time of the season. Dylan Walker was a lucky buy for Parramatta. That comes about every now and then. But, I don't know. It's just a bit sad, Tom Eisen go, mate. I liked his effort. Look, he wasn't flashy or anything, but he did try. He did give it his all out there. So, all the best to him. Hopefully he keeps playing. If not, in his future endeavours, all the best for him.
Yep. Do you have anything to add on that, Scoop? Any words you want to say?
Well, I was going to say, Tom Eisenhuth, if you do retire, thank you for your service and good luck to your future endeavours, and never stay out of the game, mate. Always keep in the game, either going to a coaching role or to media role like former players have in the past. But never keep out of the game of the great rugby league.
As Mohammed Dib said, Hame Sele only lasted 2 minutes, I think, in that New South Wales Cup game too. He just can't stay on the field, can he, Big T?
No, last year he got that what was it, illness or disease or whatever he got up towards the end of the year. Pardon?
Some probably his heart or something.
Yeah, something myocarditis or something. I'm not sure, but maybe he hasn't recovered from that. Maybe it's something to do with that. I'm not sure about Hame Sele.
Now we'll talk into where this game could be won or lost. So Friday, yes, that game against the Titans. It's only round 6, but why is this? Why must we start winning games now, Scoop?
Because if we don't win this week, you can all but pretty much rule us out if we do lose against the Titans for the race for the 8 and finals. So we must win this week's game to stay in the race, and if not, that's pretty much our season over.
Billy, what do you think we've got to do right in this game? What must we do? And how crucial is it that we must win this one? Do you agree with Scoop that it's pretty much must win?
Every game's must win. But when you're down, when you're 1-3, we've had the bye and the win. We need to start piling on some victories, especially against teams that, I feel like we can beat. I definitely think we can beat Titans. Where can we beat them? Look, if we just play our game like we played against Melbourne, where we were gritty, we got down in the dirt, and we just pushed through it, I think we can definitely have a chance at least. Not like these past couple of weeks where we versus Para and South and, we just fall apart in the last 15, 20 minutes. So just got to defend, make smart decisions. Don't even rush. Just use your brain. You use your brain, you win the game. See?
Yep.
100%, Bill. 100%, mate. Got to use your brain. You got to be smart to play football. Don't make mistakes. Like against South and Parramatta, I had them both them games down for a win for us. Like we led by 12 in both games. We should have beat them. We should have put them away. But in both games, we closed up shop. We thought we had it. We've got to win here, boys. We've got 35 minutes to go. We've got to win. Let's go. Let's close up shop. Bullshit. You play for fucking 90 minutes. Like I said, I had South and Parramatta as wins. We should have been 3 wins and a bye. With the 2 losses coming against the Bulldogs and the Storm, but we beat the Storm. So, like I said, my footy tipping shit. I think I'm down the bottom. I'm not sure, but anyway. Yeah, we've got to win. We've got to win. We've got to build confidence. Confidence builds wins. Wins build confidence. So we've got to win to build that confidence and have a culture of winning. For the last 5 years, the last 7 years, we've had a culture of losing. We need a culture of winning. And we brought the players in that we can win with. Experience 400-odd games experience between 3 players we brought into our side. Why aren't we using it? Like, Guffo's got to stop stupidly. Guffo's got to stupidly stop giving away these captain's challenges as well.
Very early in the game.
We're going to need them late in the game, some games, and if we lose them early, we've got no chance. Look at the shade dweller, Todd. What is his name? Todd Smith, is it?
Todd Smith,
Oh,
yeah.
Crow.
Yeah. Like he made that many mistakes the other night. There was 4 captain's challenges, all successful. How can a first grade referee get that many have that many errors? If captains are challenging him 4 times in a game and he's got it wrong 4 times, it's just not on. It's not on.
Because some of the referees that we always have hate us.
I wouldn't say hate us. I say they scrutinise us more than other teams. That's what I'm going to say. They don't hate us. We get scrutinised more. If you have a look at when he goes up to the bunker, they look at that replay 3 or 4 times, 5 or 6 times. But other clubs, they just look at it once and go, "Yeah, it's right. Don't worry about it." They always look for a chance that we didn't score.
All right.
Is that the score team? Is that the score team?
That's the score team. So yes,
Dragons score team. Go on, you boys.
On Friday, that'll be at the. I'm not too sure whether it's going to be before the game or at halftime during the game. But Scoop, we'll get you to run through the score. Dragons will be taking on the score Raiders, which is an annual fixture they do have every year.
That's it.
So take us through the score Dragons lineup.
All right, we got at number 17. I don't know if it's by positions or I'm just going to.
Don't worry about numbers, just names. Just names, Scoop.
We got Renton Ashford Potter, James Asama, Samil Baga, Scott Bell, Mitchell Berlin, Fidat, Chetnikaya.
Yeah, Titnikaya, yeah.
Chalker, Harry Costantino, Justin Costa, Anthony De Bruyne, Lawrence Duncan, Shane Gatala, Zach Grossetti, Matthew Hunter, Josh Philly, Justin Pierce, Adam Knight, Sean loves Josh Lyons. I'm not sure if he's related to Brent, Matthew Lyons and Brett Lyons. Yeah, and Andy McHenry, James Phipps, Tommy Ratajkowski, Kai Starling. I'm not sure if he's related to Josh Starling. Corey Shipstone, Jake Shadlow, Ryan Singleton, Michael Taylor,
Jake the score with Michael Taylor.
Jake Walsh. He might be related to Reece Walsh, but not sure.
Could be.
And lucky
Could be.
last,
Chris
Braden Weber. Taking it back to central commentary to Jesse.
So it's good to see that.
So there are only. Sorry, Jess. So there are only two score teams.
That
Us
one
and
I'm not
Canberra.
Sure, but it's always the Dragons and Raiders playing every year.
Always the Dragons and Raiders. I don't know if other teams have a score team, but what the score team is, it's the disabled kids.
I was going to say, aren't they
The ones with intellectual disabilities. Some have got autism.
Yeah,
some have got
I've
Down syndrome.
I've got a disability, Big T.
Have you?
Yep. I've been diagnosed.
What's up with you, son?
I've got autism and dyslexia. So that's why if I read out some of the names and if I struggle, I've got dyslexia.
Well, you could get a run in this game.
I could.
That's we're the crickets. Cricket. Can you play footy, Scoop?
Yes, I can. I was a halves player and a hooker back in my school team.
I was a hooker
and
too,
I
but
was
I didn't
also the
make much.
captain. I was also the captain.
Whoa! I was a hooker too, Scoop. I didn't make a lot of money.
I mostly played in the halves or hooker.
When I reset, straight over his head.
And then, as on that, our referee this week too is Chris Butler actually.
Not a bad referee.
Captain Donny shared our record under him today. We've had 15 matches under him as referee. We've won 6 from 15. The Titans have won 6 from 30.
6 from 30.
Yeah, we'll win this easy.
I think he must be there, Chris Sutton.
Not early.
Gerard Sutton, one of the Sutton boys for them.
Ashley Dumb Klein.
Well, Chris Butler was recently dropped to Queensland Cup, so he'll be needing a big game. And there actually has been talk that why can't some referees double up in weekends? Like some referees do 2 games.
Yeah, it's a bit hard running around for 80 minutes as a referee as well as being a player. They probably run the furthest than anybody on the field, referees.
Depends
they're
on where
up
the
back
game's
10.
played too.
Pardon?
Depends on where the games are played too.
Exactly right. But I do agree that the bunker should be one person for every game. The same person for every game. Just each different week. You can have Casey Badger and Chris Butler in the bunker one week. Just so you've got the consistency, like we were talking about before, about the hand-eye tackles, where Hudson Young goes to the bin for a slight touch, but Corey, what was that? Fishnet stockings. I've never worn them before. But then Corey Waddell come in forearm straight across Tyrone Wishart's face and didn't get sent off. It's just the consistency in the referees.
Rory McDonald.
I get it now, Ian. I get it now, mate. I get it now. Never wore fishnet stockings. I wore them over my face. You know when you get the stockings on your face and you go and rob a bank or a shop or something? I've done that before.
Yeah.
But,
balaclava.
All right. Now we'll get into our tips for round 6, and then we'll finalise it with the Dragons game against the Titans. But we'll Thursday night, they'll kick off at Suncorp Stadium. The Dolphins, they had their first win of the season last week against the Titans, our opponents on Friday. They're coming up against the Panthers, who are coming off 4 straight losses. Now, the Dolphins do welcome back their captain, Tom Gilbert, which sees Kenny Bromwich drop out of the 17. He's back to 19th man. And the Panthers do welcome back Dylan Edwards and Scott Sorensen. However, they do lose Mitch Kenny. Blaze Talungi, recruit Blaze Talungi, comes in for his first time to partner Nathan Cleary in the halves, with Jack Cole out with concussion, and Luke Summerton comes in for Mitch Kennedy. Nathan Cleary, yep, and Dylan Edwards, a huge inclusion.
Huge.
Billy, will the Dolphins go back to back, or will the Panthers finally break their 4-match losing streak?
I think it's due. I think it's due for Panthers to break that losing streak. It'll be close, but I got Penrith by 4.
Scoop?
Ooh. It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to go Panthers by golden point.
No crows, Jess?
Big T, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Panthers have got to strike back. Or the crazier Panthers have got to strike back. They've got to they've got to win. If they go 5 down, they start to be in trouble as well. And our luck, we play them very dead last, and they'll be 100% by then and kick our ass. But I think the Dolphins can win this one up there, but don't strike the Panthers out yet.
Yep. The Friday night game is the 8 p.m. game. The Broncos coming off a big win over the Tigers. They've lost Brendan Kapukura, who's out for a couple of weeks suspended. Former Dragon Jaden Hunt goes onto an edge, while Martin Tapu, the veteran Martin Tapu, comes onto the bench. For the Roosters, Billy Smith keeps his spot after playing his first game since 2023 last Friday night. One of your favourites, Big T, Chad Townsend dropped. Young Hugo
He's been playing shit. He's been playing worse than Ilias.
Anyway, young Hugo Savala will get his first crack at the number 7 jersey. Lindsay Collins out for 6 weeks. I'm not sure what injury he's got there. Nat Butcher will start up front. And that Mark Nawangani Tawasi returns from injury. He's named as 18th man. Who do you like in this one, Big T? At Suncorp as well, this one.
Yeah, it is. Is Reynolds in doubt?
He's been named.
But he's in doubt though, isn't he? Like,
yes.
Yeah,
he's been for scans. He's been for scans. What were the scans? Did anyone know what the scans were?
I think it was his shoulder.
Reynolds said he should be good to go, but
I'm going to go Broncos. I'm going to go Broncos if Reynolds is in. But they got Radley back for the Roosters. He's a big inclusion. But up in Brisbane, I think the Broncos they'll win every day of the week.
You agree with that, Billy?
Yep. Broncos by 20.
20?
Yep. Confident.
All right, Scoop, quickly have your say.
I was going to say
Broncos or Roosters?
I'm going to go Broncos by 20 if Reynolds is in. But I did hear reports that if he is ruled out, he, in the number 6, will get moved to 7. Billy Walters will come in at number 6. And Blake Moser on the bench. That's all I'm hearing at the moment.
Yeah, Blake Moser has been named in 22, so could be on the cards.
They also got that other player, Tyson Smoothie, but it pretty much looks like he's on the way out of the Broncos because he's already signed I think it's a 3-year deal with Wakefield Trinity from next season onwards.
All right. The first game will be of Super Saturday will be that double header in Perth, which I think our captain Donny will be at. It's the battle of the City's Beaches, Big T, the Sharks and Manly. The Sharks do welcome back Sifa Talakai and Teague Wilton, with Billy Burns and Tuku Hautapua dropping out of the 17. Manly. Yep, Manly. Jason Saab has been named despite picking up an injury. Tommy Talau is returning from injury. He's been named as 18th man. And Corey Whittle, you mentioned, has been suspended. So Josh Aloiai returns from injury in this game. This team bounces back.
Oh, I've got to say, no Tommy, no Manly. I seen them last week against the Storm. They had nothing. They were nowhere. Like Lehigh Hopper is a good player, but he's no Tommy Turbo. And everyone says for the last 4 or 5 years, no Tommy, no Manly. Is Cherry Evans as good as he really is without Tommy? I think he is, but Sharks again, they're so inconsistent. But they lose at home, they win away. So I think the Sharkies might get this one over Manly.
Scoop?
I'm going to have to agree with Big T. I'm going to go on Sharks with this one. No Tommy, no Manly. I'm going to have to go Sharks by 30.
30?
30.
And that will surely rule the Manly Seagulls out from the top 8 this year.
Sharks by
Really?
1.
Sharks by
Sharks
one.
by 1. Yeah.
All right. I'll go Sharks in a tight one. The next game on Super Saturday will be another game in Perth. The Rabbitohs, they're looking quite good at the moment. They're going for 3 in a row up against the Cowboys, who are also going for 3 in a row. Billy, who do you like in this one? The Rabbitohs have named Latrell Mitchell at 5'8". Our old Bud Sullivan named at halfback. Ewan Aiken, former Dragon, will make his South Sydney debut in the centres. And in other team news for the Rabbitohs, there is other team news. Alex Johnson does return from injury as well. The Cowboys do welcome back their co-captain Ruben Cotter. An otherwise unchanged lineup. Billy.
This is tough. This is a tough match. This is going to go down. I reckon Golden Point, intercept try, Alex Johnson, Rabbitohs to win. I reckon they're gonna be how it ends. It should be a really good match.
Big T.
Cotter's a big in for the Cowboys. He makes some good meters, some good post contact meters. McKaylee comes back into the side. I think he does. Yeah, but I think South might be too strong for the Cowboys. And if Latrell's playing closer to the ball, he's going to kill it. Bunnies by about 7, 8 maybe.
Scoop, you're making it unanimous? You think Souths as well?
I'm going to go Souths, but I'm also going to say, Jesse, if Souths want to win the comp, they'll have to keep Chai Gray at fullback because he's leading the Dally M medals count.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't forget to mention as well, our actually in the top 10.
He is.
Whose dog's that?
Mine.
Mine doesn't
Taz,
bark.
get out of there. Come on.
All right, the final game on Super Saturday is up in the top end. It's
Up in Darwin.
In the
Darwin,
Raiders.
mate. Where all the Bogans are.
Voldemort's been named on the wing. Surprise, surprise.
I pointed that out today, Jesse, on the group chat.
All of a sudden.
And Charlie Guyman goes back to the bench with Riley Smith named at 9. The Raiders are unchanged, looks like. Yep,
Yeah, it looks like they're unchanged.
That they looked good in. They're playing an exciting brand of football. Do you think the Raiders in this one, Billy?
No, give me the Crow. I need the Crow.
Give me the Crow.
The Crow. Yep. I've got Para. Para by
Para
8.
going back to back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think Parramatta turn the corner?
Yeah.
Have Parramatta turn the corner? Have we played them into form?
Here is a stat for Parramatta. They have lost their last 5 games in Darwin.
Is it their home game?
It's their home game. They take there every year. It's not much of an advantage for them.
Did they versus Raiders once there?
They have before. Last year they played the Dolphins, and Dolphins absolutely smashed them.
They did.
Right.
Billy,
No,
yeah, you think the Para?
I'm going to back Para. Zach Homax to score.
Scoop, you're agreeing that? You're agreeing with Billy? Or you think the Raiders?
If Parramatta wants to keep on winning games, they have to keep Voldemort on the wing. He's a better winner than any bloody centre. So I'm going to go Para by, in a close one, by 4.
Yep. Big T?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the trend that the Rays will beat them up there for the 7th time in a row. And as Tony Casada says there, Raiders by 22.
Yeah, the Raiders are playing an exciting brand of football. And what about that try they scored to beat the Sharks last Thursday night? That was an amazing try, wasn't it? Big
there you go. Even Tony agrees with me. Even Chris agrees with me. Look at that. So they all agree with me. Raiders easy.
Raiders will, yeah. The 2:00 game returns this Sunday down at Amy Park in Melbourne. The Melbourne Storm taking off the Warriors. The Warriors coming off the bye. Now, the Melbourne Storm do have a couple of ins, it looks like. Let's just confirm that. Actually, no, they're unchanged. They're unchanged. I thought Will Warbricks was there. He hasn't been changed, so he mustn't be clear to return. And the Warriors do welcome back Rocco Berry for his first game of the year. But Edward Cossey drops out from that win over the Tigers a fortnight ago. He drops it to the extended bench. And Bunty Afoa is that player on the bench with Dylan Walker now left the club. Big T, the Storm at home, undefeated so far this year. Why are the Melbourne Storm so hard to beat at Amy Park?
They're not. We beat them there last year. So they're not hard to beat down there. Just got to get them on the wrong night. We get them on the right night. So I can't see them. Can't see the Wales. Wales have got not a bad record down there, but I can't see them beating the Storm in their current form. Nobody's going to beat the Storm in their current form.
We did.
Well, yeah, we did, but we tend to do that. We beat the big teams and get beaten by the lower teams.
All right. Scoop?
I'm going to have to agree with Big T on this one. Melbourne by 12.
Billy, you agree with that? Melbourne?
Yep, Storm by 12. I'm going with that one as well.
Yep, it's unanimous. I think it's all going to be the Melbourne Storm. And then the final game of the round is on Sunday afternoon up in Newcastle, Scoop, where we'll have the Knights taking on the Tigers. For the Knights, Kyle McCarthy will make his NRL debut on the wing with James Schiller out. I think he's got a facial injury there. Jack Cogger dislocated his finger. They couldn't pop that in last Sunday night. So Phoenix Crossan moves from hooker to halfback. Jaden Bradley will start at hooker. Jacob Saifidi did his calf in the actually running out on the field, so he's out as well. That's an odd one, seeing him run out on the field and get injured. Brodie Jones will start in the front row. Kai Pearce-Paul returns from suspension on an edge. Matthew Arthur, the son of former Para coach Brad Arthur, will make his Knights debut off the bench, as will Leo Thompson's twin brother, Tyrone Thompson.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Having Leo Thompson run at you, and then you look around, and here comes Tyrone Thompson. They're both man mountains. They're twins. Both man mountains. It's like having a
give me the Crow. I'm going to say give me the Crow on this one.
Give you the Crow? All right.
Yeah, give me the Crow.
Go on.
I'm not sure, but...
On the Tigers, welcome back Jerome Luai and Gerald Skelton as well.
Yeah.
I want to say I wouldn't be surprised if there's a last minute change, or I did hear reports that Knights are trying to move some players on to ease salary cap pressure and bring in Dill Brown. So the crow is halfway through this year, Dill Brown will be at the Newcastle Knights, and Tyrone Thompson will sign with the Bulldogs for a 3-year deal with his brother to go to the Bulldogs next year.
He's just signed with the Knights.
He just got there.
Yeah, but the Knights are trying to relieve salary cap pressure. So my crow
I hope
is
not.
Tyrone Thompson to get released, follow his brother for a 3-year deal at the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
All right, Billy, do you think the Knights get the win at home, remain undefeated at home, or with the inclusion of Jerome Luai for the Tigers, will that be enough to get them home?
I
On the
think
road.
Tigers win. I don't know if that's a crow or not, but I got Tigers to win. Just Knights have lost so much players. They lost about 6 players. So, that's just
I've got
and
sorry, Jesse.
Yep. As for the rumor about Tyrone Thompson and that, if I'm thinking that Knights got to relieve some pressure, I would get rid of Hastings. They don't have any use for him at all. So
Well, that's the plan with Parramatta.
yeah,
They want to swap Hastings for Dylan Brown.
yeah. I reckon.
I
that's
forgot
the-
to put my tips in. I'm
But-
going Tigers by 12.
There you go.
Yep, I've got Tigers 13 plus. I don't
Big
know
T?
exactly.
What are your
but
thoughts?
13.
on this game?
Knights.
Yep. Up at Newcastle, they'll get the job
Yep.
done at home.
They will. They have the Thompson twins running at you. You're in trouble. Thompson twins. They were in Tintin, weren't they? The Thompson twins?
I don't know.
Yeah, they were. They were in Tintin.
I'll get your thoughts on both of this now. Mainly for Scoop and Billy. Big T doesn't care. He's a Queenslander. This is an Origin related question. Now, Laurie Daly was speaking the last 24 hours about who his halves might be. He's hinted it could be both Nathan Cleary and Mitchell Moses, with Jerome Luai might maybe to miss out. Your thoughts, Billy? Who would be your halves? Would you go with Cleary and Moses both if fit? Moses hasn't played any football yet this year.
Kind of hard because no one's played themselves for New South Wales. No halves have played themselves into any Origin form whatsoever. Like Cleary's forcing himself to make mistakes because he thinks he has to carry the team, and Mitchell Moses hasn't come back at all yet, so we can't really judge on him. It's going to be good to see over the next couple of weeks. Hoping Moses comes back soon enough. I really am intrigued because his Origin form last year, where our Blues was really good. Otherwise, Jerome Luai might have to be an option.
Scoop?
Well, one point I've got is Mitch Moses is all the reports I'm hearing. He's going to be ruled out this year for Origin because I don't think he'll be fit by then. I've got Jerome Luai, and I'm going to throw a smoky here, Jesse. I've got Matt Burton. That could be in contention to be the 5'8" in the New South Wales squad.
Well, Matt Burton's due back from injury next week. Lachlan Ilias.
Nah, I've got Matt Burton, Jerome Luai.
Well, Tony Sacosta's got a good point. Cleary has not stepped up in Origin football yet. He hasn't owned the Origin.
No,
he hasn't.
And I've got a gut feeling that Queensland, I'm sorry, Jesse, I'm sorry, Billy, but I've got a gut feeling, depending on what happens, I've got a gut
Big
feeling.
T's listening.
The Queensland will probably win series 2-1.
Queenslander!
I hate to say it, but with the poor
He'll kick
form
off.
that we've had, no, I've got a gut feeling with the poor form that we had with Laurie Daly as coach. I've got a gut feeling this is his last hurrah.
I say
If
bring
he-
back Trent Barrett.
I've got a gut feeling if if we lose again to Queensland this year, Laurie Daly would never be a coach in Origin football ever again. We've just had a poor record with him as coach.
And
You
there's
have.
been talk about if the Queensland side was named tomorrow, Big T, you're a Queenslander.
Yeah.
Who would be the fullback right now? Would it be Kalen Ponga or would it be Reece Walsh? Reece Walsh hasn't been great to start the
Yeah,
year.
Caleb
Would
Ponga
it be
at the moment.
Ponga?
He's just got tipped ahead, I think. Caleb Ponga's tipped ahead at the moment. Because Reece Walsh hasn't been the top of his game. But he's still got 3 weeks to bring that form back. So it'll be either one of them. But at the moment, Ponga's at fullback.
Yep. And one more for you. If Daly Cherry-Evans retires from Origin football, who comes into the team in the halves?
Oh, Jesus. It'd have to be Tommy Dearden, wouldn't it?
Would you play him at 7 and Munster at 6?
Yeah, Munster at 6, Dearden at 7.
I've got another little smoky, but for Queensland side is if Cherry Evans does retire, they still have the former Dragons number 7 and captain, who could be a smoky if he does play on in the number 7 role. Just throwing a little smoky out there.
Possibility. Another crow from the crow.
But we don't care about Queensland, do we, Liam?
No.
All right. Now we'll get.
Well, I do.
All right, moving on, Jesse.
We'll get into our predictions for the big game of the weekend, though.
Let's wind it up, son. Wind it up.
On Friday night at Wynn Stadium. If you're there too, come out and say hello. Big T, I'm sure will
I'll be on the hill.
Yeah. So yeah, go and say hello to Big T too if you're at the game. Isn't that right, Big T? Go say hello to you.
I'm sure Coco will be there as well.
Yep. So yeah, if you see us in the game, come and say hello. We don't bite.
Come and buy me a beer.
Yeah, buy Big T a beer and you'll be on his good side for the rest of your life.
That's right.
All right. Now, Scoop will give you the first crack. What's going to happen in the game on Friday night? Do we get our second win of the year?
Ooh. I'm trying not to be too critical of our players, but I'm going to go. Christian Plotters, show me the money, baby, for any time try. And Dragons to make it come to break out the winning streak. And if we lose this week, Blake Laurie and Lachlan Ilias to get dropped for Larkin Kintoga, and the myth, the great legend, the XPT to make his debut if we lose next against the Titans this week for next week's game.
So what's your tip? Dragons by how many?
I'm gonna go Dragons by 2 in Golden Point.
Oh no, don't do that to me.
No, we don't want golden points.
I'm not again.
Billy?
Well, I'm not going to go Dragons by 24 this time after last week, but give me Dragons by 10 points. I think we can get the job done in the back end and hopefully hold on to be alive. Anytime try scorer. Let's go Damien Cook. I feel like he's due. He needs to start attacking more, so let's go Damien Cook.
Big T, you're very optimistic. Always tipping the Dragons.
Always tipping the Dragons, mate.
Dragons Friday night in the Gong.
Dragons by 8. Gutho to get another try. I reckon it'd be Holmes or Tui will be scoring first. Yeah, Dragons by 6 to 8. I'm going to say Dragons by 8.
I'm going to go Dragons, but yeah, if we get to a lead by 12 points again, I'll get very nervous because we've seen what's happened in the last 2 games. The Titans, they're a team that can leak points, though. So if we can get some points, we saw how many tries the Dolphins put on the other night. So if we can pile on some points, if we get to a lead of 12, I hope our halves and our spine have learnt from their last 2 losses and have learnt from their mistakes, because they need to learn from that if they want to get better and improve. I'm going to go the Dragons by 8. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a close one. The Titans, they're not a bad side if they can worry us. If we're not careful, they'll give us a contest. So I'm going to go by 8. I think Gutho will be an anytime try scorer, and I think Tuipulotu will get a try to mark his 50th NRL game. All right. Well, I'll throw over to you, to Big T, to sign us off.
Again.
You've been watching the Mad Dragons podcast, proudly sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions.
Yeah, get down there and ask Jeff to come and fix your warehouse. They do it all, mate. They'll clean the place up after you leave, and they'll touch up all the walls and the concretes, and they do all that. They've even got shelving and everything. They've got everything down there. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. That's been another nearly 2 hours of sheer fun. Thanks for joining us again, and come on, Dragons fans, fire up!
Coco is at Penal's heart, she wears it on her sleeve. As Mustard tells tales of dragons, wins and Judah victory. Tony and the MD crew will do their very best, hitting off topic and I digress with a red V on our chest. The Mad Dragon podcast is a sheep of camaraderie, navigating rants down rabbit holes in the land of big wet feet. And so our peddlers weave the tales, and our pursuit is our dream. The Mad Dragon podcast, under